Okay, guys, so we got to the nerve center today of Defense Soap, which I've been here before, but, I was on vacation talking to some friends, and they wanted to know the story behind Defense Soap and how you started in it. You were actually law enforcement, and then your son Gus was wrestling for St. Edward, wrestling West Shore, and then you actually had some problems with skin infections. Where did the idea come from for Defense Soap, and what do you know about soap as far as that?
Well, it was way back in the early 2000s. Gus was pretty little at the time. My entire team, 100 kids, had ringworm. I'm like, why doesn't somebody just make a soap to get rid of ringworm? How hard can it possibly be? So I started to do some research on Google. I remembered in college we used to shower with antifungal with dandruff shampoo. We didn't realize that dandruff shampoo contained antifungal properties. So I knew there was a way that you could kill fungus with a wash. If you could use it as shampoo, then you could probably use it in a soap. The only issue with dandruff shampoo is you're not going to have the antibacterial protection such as staph that we deal with, or impetigo. That comes from a different source of a microbe rather than a fungus. So you have to address both issues. So I sat down and started looking at some ingredients that I could put into a soap that would kill fungus and bacteria. And I was just using Google and researching ingredients, and I always looked up side effects of every ingredient. And when I looked at what was in soap, I was like, oh my gosh, I was going through the house and throwing everything away in my house after reading all the side effects of what was in the soap that I was currently using. So I started to formulate a safer yet effective bar soap. And then I went and I hired a lady out in New England who made soaps to make some soap for my wrestling team, the West Shore Wrestling Club. And it worked really well. I had no intention to sell it. I was just making it to give to the kids so that they wouldn't get ringworm. Well, it worked, and it worked really well. And then people started to talk about it, and then finally, like, the light bulb went on. Hey, I could start a business here. The only issue with that bar soap, it was handmade, so consistency is not necessarily there. And if we want to fight infection, we have to be consistent. So we had to move to a larger manufacturer, FDA approved facility to make a consistent bar soap. And when I started working with these people, they have chemists, engineers, scientists on staff that help you develop your bar soap, and that's how we came up with Defense and the subsequent other bars after that.
When you look at a business, we've talked about this. You're not really you heavily reinvest. That's something I actually call that a problem. It's not really a problem, but it's hard to grow fast. You're constantly reinvesting, right?
Right.
You're not really in the business of I want to get rich and build the biggest facility, move out of this facility. You grew slow, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, 13 years now.
So you can do a lot of trial and error when you grow slow.
Right.
Right? Talk about the business model that Defense Soap has used and how you guys have grown so slowly but successfully.
Well, the first thing that I did was I did not want to sell soap to my friends to see if I had a successful business model, because your friends are going to buy it, right? They're your friends, so they're going to buy your soap. So you get kind of like a fake number of what your business could do. I started by going on like forums, wrestling forums and MMA forums, and just talking with people about skin issues on the forums. And I started a grassroots marketing campaign through forums, web pages, and then of course my own website and at wrestling tournaments. And I grew it. People say brick by brick. I say bar by bar. From going to a wrestling tournament with a 6-pack cooler with 25 bars of soap in it. Now I sell 35,000 bars of soap to one customer. So it's grown that way over the years. But we have 0 salesmen. We have to have a salesman in our company. Everything is word of mouth through Amazon, through now we have some TV commercials and stuff like that. But we've grown to that stage. For years we just did advertising and wrestling publications and hit the road.
Tell me about the balance between you're doing law enforcement, you're a Cleveland police officer, right? How did you balance that? You're a full-time wrestling coach every night of the week, 6 nights a week in the winter, right?
Yep.
And then you started this. How did you balance that? How did you do that? You have 4 kids, right? You've had 2 of the kids within the time frame of the 13 years, right?
Yep.
But you had all this going on in your life. How did you balance it?
It was interesting. Number one, I didn't pay myself for the first 8 years. I just came to work. We just came here, did our job, got the soap out. Everything went right back into the company. I was a policeman. I had a salary, so I made it work. And when you work as much as we did, you don't have any time to spend money, so it works out really good. But
that's a good problem, right?
A good problem. But my day, honestly, would start at my shift. I always worked the night shift so I could coach wrestling. I started work at 10 o'clock at night. I would work till 8 in the morning. I get home at 8:30, be in bed, get up at 11:30, be here at noon, work from noon to 5:30, go to wrestling practice from 6 to 8, and turn around and go back to work that night. I did that probably for 5 years.
That was if my calculation is right. That sounds like 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, 3 hours of sleep a day for about 5 years. But again, when you have a purpose or trying to solve a problem, it's easy to be motivated.
Gus comes back from UVA. Okay, seems like he does everything here, right?
He's my operational manager. He runs the entire warehouse, and that may not seem like a big deal. But just for example, like our shower gel, there's 5 different components to a shower gel. There's a soap, there's a bottle, there's a label, there's a cap, there's a seal. If any one of those things goes down, the shower gel's down. And we're working with 20,000 different units of shower gel a month going out the door. So we can't have something go down. And that's just one product, and we have 20 products. So you could imagine how much responsibility he has.
You guys don't get into it at all, do you?
No.
No, you guys get along?
No, my biggest success as a coach, I think, is maintaining the friendship with my son. I coached him since he was 4 years old. Then he obviously went on to St. Ed's and to UVA, and he had good coaches there, but then he came back and worked with me, and we're still pretty close.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes being an All-American. I like to have an All-American too, but I'd rather have my son than an All-American.